Okay, beautiful. We're off. I'm just gonna get the slideshow going. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time to jump on this Tuesday evening. My name's Tully, and I'll be hosting tonight's info session. So should go for just inside half an hour if we stay on track, which we've been doing the last few, which is good. And today's is just short and sharp to give you some quality information on integrating nutritional cleansing into your lifestyle and what it can do for you and your health and for those around you as well. So quickly before I get stuck into it, I'll just share a little bit about my story and how I came to be using the systems. So it was 4.5 years ago now, nearly 5. I was working as a physio in private practice and I was pretty healthy, to be honest. I was exercising 4 to 5 times a week. I was eating pretty clean. I was, getting enough sleep, I thought, doing all the right things. I was a health professional trying to help other people improve their health. And with that being said, I was still relying on coffee to get through the day, but so was everybody around me. So I just thought it was normal. And I was also struggling a little bit in the gym. I'm built like a greyhound naturally, and I was trying to put on a bit of size in the gym and struggling a little bit with that. But I wasn't actively looking for a solution because, like I say, I thought I was pretty healthy. And then a physio friend of mine, Rory, came to me with the Isagenix system, and I'd seen the results it got with him. He was, he was struggling health-wise, and it really helped him turn things around. I wasn't struggling, so I wasn't sure what it was going to be able to do for me, but he'd helped a lot of patients lose weight and that sort of thing with it. And I wasn't going to be recommending anything that I hadn't tried myself first. So, and also I really wanted my mum to do it and she wouldn't do it unless I did it. So I jumped in and gave the system a crack, not expecting a whole lot, to be honest. Within the first 2 weeks though, I remember waking up after my second cleanse day and I just woke up with a mental clarity that I hadn't had in a very long time. I went from relying on 2 double shot coffees to get through the day to none, cut coffee completely. I've integrated that back into my life now because I love coffee, but I cut my reliance on it, which was really cool. Started sleeping through the night, which I hadn't been doing. I didn't even realize I wasn't sleeping well until I started sleeping well. Started pulling up after workouts better, and I just started to feel like I'd taken my 80% health to that 95% and really started to optimize things. And that's when it kind of clicked for me that if this system can take somebody who's already pretty healthy to that next level, imagine what it can do every day for the people that I see struggling with energy levels and carrying extra weight and all this stuff. So started to share the system, and fast forward 4.5 years later, shared it with a whole lot of people and developed a network of over 5,000 people that have benefited from the system, which is pretty cool. So I had a massive love. And that picture, that was just in the maintenance phase. So that was a 16-week challenge. I traveled 4 times, twice interstate and twice internationally, and had quite a stressful time and was still able to maintain and even make good results. And I just like to point that out because I'm vote 1 lifestyle. I'm not super anal about what I put in my body. I'm, 80-20 or 90-10. But what I love about this system is it allows you to maintain a lifestyle if you're busy, if you're traveling, if you're doing all these things, and your health and your energy levels don't have to sacrifice as a result. So that's a little bit about my story. And then that's a picture of me and my beautiful fiance, Caitlin. So I'm just going to move this down here. So before we get stuck in and talk about the products, I just want to talk a little bit about the vision of the company. So Isagenix has a vision to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process create the largest health and wellness company in the world. And that's pretty cool. All the physio practices I'd worked for up until that point didn't have a vision that I was aware of. And even if they did, I don't think it was quite as inspiring as that one. And what's even more cool is that they're actually living into this in terms of the numbers of people they're impacting. And there's thousands and thousands of people improving their health and relieving themselves from physical pain, and thousands of people that are relieving themselves from some financial pain. So I got around that because as a health professional, this was really important for me to be aligned with a company of integrity and a company that was looking at things in a holistic. Physical health is great, but if we're financially stressed out of our eyeballs, that's going to impact our health in a massive way. So to be able to look at both is a really cool thing. And just a few industry stats, and this is important because basically, to me, this is an indication that there's a lot of people that aren't feeling very good in their bodies. If there's nearly 16 billion being spent on weight loss, 120 billion spent in the energy industry, 31 billion spent in the performance industry, 90 billion spent in healthy aging, that's a lot of money that people are investing trying to look and feel better in themselves. So there's a pretty big issue. So when you've got a vision to impact world health, I think it's just cool to touch on this because initially we focus on our own health, of course, but to know that you've got a tool that can help so many people that are looking for a solution is a pretty cool place to be in as well. And the Isagenix Promise, it's quite simple. No compromise products. Not all supplements are created equal. And to be honest, before I felt the benefits of this in my body, I thought, being in the health practitioner world and surrounded by a lot of doctors, I thought supplements were a bit of a crock. And that's because not all supplements are created equal and there is a lot of crap out there. So there's no compromise of quality plus scientific support. These guys have got 6 peer-reviewed articles to support the efficacy of the system. You combine those two things and you get a safe, transformative system that you can incorporate into your lifestyle, which is pretty cool. So the products. So there's 3 main pillars to the system. The first is the shake, and this is a common objection that I get from a lot of people, and it's fair enough because I had the same objection, and that's I don't do shakes. To me, a young fit guy that was trying to put on size, the thought of replacing a meal with a shake seemed a little bit ridiculous actually, but I just followed the system and I ate around it. And I think the important thing to note about this system is it's not about deprivation. Sure, you replace a couple of meals a day with a shake. That's to get more nutrition in and to minimize empty calories. A lot of what we consume are empty calories, which means the calories that don't have option, which is cool, and healthy fats, as well as a good source of fiber, vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes. So it's actually a live food. So it's pretty much like the perfect superfood smoothie, and it takes about 45 seconds to add some ice and some water and blend it up. And I'm personally a huge fan of the smoothie bowl, so I like to make it nice and thick and add lots of fun stuff to it. So for those that are in a rush and don't really care, it's super convenient, but it also, you can use it and build around it and have some fun with it as well, which is cool to keep things fresh. And like I touched on before, I'm a vegan, so fully plant-based, and this dairy-free option is delicious. So the other, I guess, product that sort of falls into the weight loss category, but again, I still use this product every week and I'm not trying to lose weight. So it does help a lot with fat loss, but it's not just for people trying to lose weight. The Cleanse for Life, again, the word cleanse can scare some people off if they've had not great experiences. But the important thing to note about this is it's not a diuretic. You're not going to be sitting on the toilet. My only experience with cleansing before I started this was mum doing colon cleanses before she went to see the gut doctor, which wasn't very pretty. So I was a bit hesitant about a cleanse, but this is just full of natural herbs and botanicals that support and nourish your body's natural detoxification system. So there's a lot of buzz around intermittent fasting now, and there's a lot of research to back it up. So what this does is enables nutritionally supported intermittent fasting. So as your body's going through that fasting process, it supplies it with antioxidants and things that actually help the detoxification process. So you get a lot more out of, especially in terms of visceral fat loss, a lot more out of the fasting process. So this is my favorite product, and anybody who's used the system before, put your hand up if this is your favorite product. I know Mandy be loving this one right now, the Onyx double dose and this bad boy. It's incredible. They call it like nature's answer to stress, and it's full of these things called adaptogens, which naturopaths love, and they basically help your body adapt to stress. Because you can put all the best nutrition in your mouth, but if you're stressed out of your eyeballs, your gut won't assimilate it properly and you won't get the benefit out of it. So the fact that they've incorporated something that helps your body deal with stress and combat the cortisol response is just genius, and it's a huge part of why people have such improved energy levels, better sleep, better digestion. This product supports that. And it's also physical stress as well. So recovery from exercise is something that a lot of people notice with this product as well. The E-Shot. So this is amazing. I love the E-Shot. It's nature's answer to pre-workout, but it's not just for gym junkies. So it's got some plant-based caffeine sourced from yerba mate and green tea. So all natural stuff there. But the cool thing is it's got those adaptogens in it that I was talking about before. So rather than getting your sort of caffeine hit that sometimes you can get from a coffee and then getting that slump, it doesn't stress your adrenals because it's got those adaptogens with it. So you get that raise in energy levels and clarity without a crash afterwards. And they're super tasty as well. So I love me an E-Shot every now and then. And then just to wrap up, the healthy aging. So this is basically to fill in the gap. So you've got a really good quality multivitamin in there. You've got a product called Ageless Actives, which is really good for cellular health and combating oxidative stress. So basically stress, we often associate stress with like our full body, but really what's happening is we're experiencing stress at a cellular level, and that impacts our health in a big way too. So we've got these supplements here to really help support and combat that oxidative stress. So even though it's in the healthy aging category, very beneficial for people of all ages. I definitely incorporate these because I notice the difference when I don't use them. So that's, I guess, the system in a nutshell. You've got those 3 pillars, and then you've got supplements to fill in the gaps. But now we're going to hear from a few people just so you can get a bit of an idea of what the system can actually do with real everyday people incorporating it into their lifestyle. So I'm going to get Linda to unmute. How's these results? Linda sent these through to me this afternoon, and I was absolutely blown away. 4 years in, and I'm still shocked every time I see results like this. You must be stoked. I'll let you, I'll shut up and I'll let you share your story.
I am shocked too. I look at the back fat and it, honestly, I nearly died. And the guts, what's with the guts? Seriously. Anyway, there you have it. Thanks guys for having me on tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Tull just sent me a message this afternoon and asked me if I'd share my story. And of course I will, because I love sharing my story, because my Isagenix journey has pretty much been one that's just been completely and utterly life-changing. You know, so before I started nutritional cleansing, I was really sad. I was really down on myself. I was not in a good place. I was incredibly anxious all the time. And had whacked on a lot of weight in sort of the 12 months before starting. I just completely forgot about myself and my own health and completely let myself go. And I was incredibly ashamed of where I had allowed myself to get to. So with that, I was introduced to Isagenix by Lovey. So he's actually not on tonight, but he is my incredible mentor, mate, friend, brother from another mother, support person. Him and we fight like brother and sister too, because we're exactly the same. So him and his wife pretty much have supported me the whole way through the journey, and there is absolutely no way I would be here today without that support. So these photos here are actually my 16-week results. So I've at the end of my first IsaBody challenge. So I've been madly typing my essay tonight. Yeah, so I am just under 9 kilos down. And yeah, and I've completely got my life back, you know. My husband's got his wife back. My kids have got their mum back, which is so incredible. And my husband's actually started using the product, so that's a little bit exciting. Yes, yeah. Look at you all get so excited. It was all his decision, So yeah, so he's using bits and pieces here and there, and you know, I've just completely changed my lifestyle. I have a newfound confidence as well.
Mm.
Yeah, and 9 kilos lighter, and I feel alive, as you can see
Amazing.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much my story, and you know, to date, like I'm helping people. There is so many lives that can be impacted by this system. It's just a
Mm.
matter of biting the bullet and doing it, you know, and putting the stuff into your body and then getting the results. But there's no other way to do this. Yeah, but just do it. Mm.
Love it. Thanks, Linda. Appreciate
My
you jumping
pleasure.
on. As always, good to see you.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, next up, we've got Mr. Dunsborough. Dino. That's a story
Mate,
on energy and
are
performance.
you serious? Mr. Dunsborough. You had to take that in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thanks, Tal.
No worries,
Awesome,
mate.
Linda. I love seeing your results, Linda. That's unreal. Listen, look, Tully, I love listening to you explain the products, mate. It's just awesome. You know, I guess being a tradie, my knowledge around nutrition is basically I can tell when the meat pies and the sausage rolls have been in the bayonet for longer than a day. So that's that was my extent of my nutritional knowledge before jumping onto this system. You know, but what I came into it for really was about the energy. You know, I was obviously being a tradie, I was working reasonably long hours, and I just couldn't get enough out of myself to last a full day. You know, I was trying to do the right things. You know, being pretty active, going for a surf and going to the gym and stuff like that of a morning. But you know, come 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was just dying. So I was reaching for those nasties. You know, the chocolates and the coffees and stuff like that. So. Mandy, my lovely wife, who's on the call tonight as well, she introduced me to the products, and she'd been using the products for probably, I'd say, about 6 weeks or so before I started. And I'd seen her have some amazing results in energy. So we had a little chat, and I decided that I'd jump on board. And a bit like Tal, you know, like as a tradie, doing that shake thing was just, it was a bit weird, really, to be honest, but I decided to just give it a shot and we'll see what happens. And pretty much straight away, I felt little shifts. I was waking up a lot clearer in the morning. I had a heap of energy. I was jumping up, going for a surf, bashing through a day's work, and then looking for something to do in the afternoon, which turned into obviously getting back to playing footy and stuff like that. Always spin out at that picture on the left of my before photo. You know, that I didn't think I had kilos to lose, but obviously I did. So the pies just weren't doing it for me, clearly. So no, as a result of using it, you know, that energy levels just come up amazingly. So I look 3 years now, and I've been able to maintain. I've actually put on weight, to be honest, but that's obviously lean muscle and stuff like that. So I'm back to sort of halfway what I lost, which was about 7 or 8 kilos, I think, initially. And
Nice.
look, I just think everyone deserves to get this stuff into them. You know, if it's look, it sounds a bit weird, but you know, just give it a go. And if it's not for you, you're going to know pretty quickly. And you know, obviously, Tully, you'll touch on the money back guarantee a bit later, but just give it a go, guys, and you'll find out pretty soon whether it's for you or not. And I just find the simplicity really good, you know. Being on the road a fair bit and just being able to whack a shake into me pretty quick and know you're getting the right stuff into you, it's just amazing. So, and it's just giving me the energy to do things after work. Like I'm at corporate bowls right now, just about to roll my first bowl down working hard. So yeah, that's my little story, and hopefully that resonates, and we can go from there, man. Good thing.
Love it. Thanks, Dino.
Cheers,
Definitely,
buddy.
Takes the guesswork out of it. Nice, simple nutrition. The only nutritional education you need for this is how hot the pies get in the bayonet, and you can still get epic results. Awesome. So last and definitely not least is Dino's beautiful wife, Mandy. I'm going to get her to unmute and yeah, share your experience with it all, Mandy.
Thanks, Tal. That was that doesn't sound a lot for my cooking of the past either, Dino. So thanks, darling. Pies and sausage rolls. So before I started, I guess I had a really bad patterning of yo-yo dieting. I really had tried everything, looking to sort of lose those last few sticky kilos. I was lacking in energy, trying to go to the gym, do all the right things, but was struggling to get up and do that in the mornings with ease. My digestive health was really at an all-time low. And to be perfectly honest, my stress levels very much impacted the kind of person that I was showing up in the world. So was kind of presented to me. I was very open and willing to look at options that were going to, I guess, just make me feel better on an overall well-being level, and something that was going to break me out of those patterns of what I'd been used to, and make it something for longevity, so that, you know, my girls would see that what I was doing was the right thing, and then hopefully they would follow suit. So yeah, it was a big issue for me of what I was showing up to for my family as well. So yeah, that, like Dean said, that was 3 years ago. A gorgeous friend of mine, I literally saw her results and was intrigued and reached out to her to ask what she was doing. This was it, and I got started straight away. Within my first sort of month, I dropped sort of just over 4 kilos, which was awesome, but that really was just a byproduct of everything else that started to change for me. It was very much a very internal shift for me. My digestive health just started to improve over the months, and has now never been better, which, as we know, with that brain-gut connection, so many things then start to flow on when everything's sort of working well in your body. So I felt this well-being, I felt this feeling of balance, and being able to deal with life stresses a whole lot better, which, as we know, you know, for a mum, or for anyone, but, you know, for me as a mum, it was the ripple effect that then came on from that. You know, it wasn't just about me anymore. It was what my family saw, and as you heard, it took him 6 weeks then to kind of go, right, well, I've seen your changes, I need to jump on support and get those same results. And now my 2 beautiful daughters use the full system. It's just been a collaborative of amazing, a lifestyle change for all of us, to be honest. It's impacted all of us in such a massive way, and not only just the nutrition side of things, but the community that we're now involved in. You know, we choose to live a more positive lifestyle. We choose to surround ourselves with people that lift us up and to inspire us, and that's what this community is all about. There's so much support, there's so much love, and I think, you know, as kids, we all just crave that human connection, and that's exactly what this gives us. So to say it's just been a nutrition plan and product is just an understatement for me. So yeah, it's been huge. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Thanks, Mans. I love it. And you raised such a good point about the community support, because yeah, it doesn't really matter what works. It matters what you can maintain, and having that community support and those people cheering you on along the way is just as important as the incredible system of products. So thanks for touching on that. And just to wrap up the product section of things, it's just a disclaimer, and this is important because obviously everybody's results are going to be different. Everybody starts at a different place. Everybody sticks to the system with a different level of rigor. So yeah, your results are going to vary depending on your lifestyle and how you come into things. The cool thing is the study that they've done, on average, people lose 4.1 kilos after their first 30 days on Isagenix, and that's peer-reviewed research. That's a really cool thing that you can have. Yeah, just rest assured, if weight loss is a goal, that it's been proven to do that, which is cool. And yeah, this is touching on one of those studies. I'm just going to touch on one point here quickly, and that's what they did. They compared the heart healthy diet, which is clean eating, and 1 day of fasting a week to the Isagenix system, which is 1 cleanse day a week, plus incorporating the shakes and the supplements. So the control group was still fasting in this, which is really important to point out. And the Isagenix group still lost twice as much visceral fat, which is that nasty, dangerous fat around the organs. So, yeah, I guess the proof's in the pudding. You've heard the results from real people, but for those people that need the scientific support and the science heads, like you're going to hear from one of them in a second, yeah, just rest assured that the science is there to back it all up as well, which is cool. And you don't have to be an expert like Dino. He's not an expert, and he still had great results and helped a lot of people do the same. And that's because they've got 50 full-time experts that go into creating the resources, creating the products, making sure it's safe, making sure it's reliable, making sure people are actually getting what they're paying for when they order the system. And before I get my main man, Rory, to share his story on wealth creation and lifestyle, as a health professional, this blew me away that 81% of people cite either financial or workplace as their primary cause of stress. And the number one precursor to any health issue is stress. So the fact that we have a system and a business model that can not only impact people's physical health really, really quickly, to have a business model that can help start to relieve a bit of financial stress is just the home run. So I'm going to pass it over to Rory, and he's just going to quickly wrap up with his story about, how he went from full-time physio to currently he's tuning in from Bali.
All right. Hey guys. Cheers for having us on again, Tully. Like, usually I share a bit more about my health story, but it's cool to share the other side of it, which is really about the sharing side and the impact. And I guess just in a real quick nutshell, the reason why I'm still here 5 years later is I want to see 42-plus-year-old football players who went from meat pies to, still playing footy and getting best on grounds. I love seeing Mandy and Linda's story. Tully and me are both allied health professionals, and we use this as a tool in our belt to help people in any way we can and integrate it into their life. I know Mandy and Linda are mums who are doing the same, and there's nothing else I've ever seen or come across where you can genuinely create a system or a product and leverage, experts, and it's just people helping people and seeing this level of results. So my story is pretty simple. Like, I started as probably one of the most skeptical allied health professionals that you'd meet when it comes to this. And, I was chatting with a good friend, Peter Kelly, about this program for about 9 months before I gave it a crack. And, we were butting heads for a long time because she wasn't a nutritional expert, but she was leveraging John Anderson and all these guys that, I'd read their books. I'd sort of plugged into their consciousness somewhere along the way. I'd plugged into Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine. I'd heard like intermittent fasting was starting to become a bit of a key term. So I'd had juice fasting. I'd heard all this stuff. But I was an iPhone battery at about 10% if you like my energy and my digestive issues. And long story short, health-wise, within a month, I went from being on 10% to about 80%. So I looked at this and I was like, holy shit, this is something legitimate. And like Tully said, we like to test things on ourselves first and before we have the integrity to share it with other people. And that's just the way we go about it. So if you're like that, you can do the same. And something that really got me about the sharing side of it was Peter said to me, she said, you know what, it's free or it's free. And that was the thing that really got me. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, well, it's free in that you do the program, and if for whatever reason it's not for you, you send it back, empty containers, you get your money back. So, health ego out the window, you can try it for yourself and you can make up your own mind. So that was the thing I think that got me across the line after 9 months. And then the second thing, she was like, well, if this does work, you can start sharing with people you care about. You've got patients that, want to lose weight and things like that. You've got friends who want to perform better, and so on and so forth. She said, so if this actually is what it is, then you can just go out and impact more people with it. And it worked. And then I shared it with my best mate, Tully. I shared it with Glenn. I helped one of my best mates who was going through a real health crisis lose about 10 kilos, and he's transformed his life in the last 5 years. Tommy McGrath was another one, and Reese Hunt. So these were like the first people I shared it with. And a patient who I helped lose 20 kilos and basically helped her from having surgery and 2 total knee replacements. So these little case studies started popping up from integrating this tool. So there was the first 5 or 6 people that I impacted. So naturally, I just kept on doing it. And, 5 years down the track, it's a tool in my belt that I've been able to impact collectively through myself. And probably myself only impacted 120, 130 people directly. But by helping people help people, and by jumping on these things, and by Tully putting on events like this, you don't need to be the expert. You can just literally invite people to this and they can get information themselves, and we can help create this ripple effect that goes on and helps more and more people. So to be able to impact 30,000 people with this tool is probably 10 times what I could have done in the clinic as a one-on-one physio. And to be completely honest, and I don't think you'll actually believe me when I say this, but I've seen more health changes in this community than I have in any other community. And, I'm working alongside the Tyler Tolmans that are doing Juice Fast. I'm working along like Health Dynamics, which is all Ayurvedic practitioners. I'm working alongside some of the best, allied health professionals in the world. And they're still talking about the problems that we're solving. And the fact that it's so simple and it's something that a mum can share with a best friend and things like that, to me, that's the ultimate mastery. So I guess, and the other thing I haven't shared as well from that is the more people you help, the more abundance you can create for yourself and for others, because the company gives back over 50% of its profit back to its people. So imagine, Steve Jobs, giving 50% of his profit back to the people that buy the computers. It just doesn't happen. Nike doing the same. There's no conscious enterprises like that. So the point is that by helping 30,000 people collectively, I've been able to free my time, my location. It allows me to show up on these things and not care about money. It allows me to travel the world. It allows me to create the passion project that I've always wanted to create, which transcends me and transcends self, and it'll be something that I want to leave as a legacy. It allows me to help my family. It allows me to, if stuff pops up, I can fly home in an instant. I can help my brother. I can help my cousins, my nieces. There's a lot of crises going on, and I can show up and be there for people, which is something that I couldn't do when I was locked into a location-specific job. So that's the opportunity and the possibility for you, and hopefully that resonates. And if you do want to share, start with yourself, impact your first 10 people, see if you can impact another 100 people. If you want to impact 1,000 people, you're going to have to help the people you've helped help more people, and then so on and so forth. And it becomes that easy. So that's it for me, Tal.
Awesome. Powerful story. Thanks, Roz. All right. And a little bit just to wrap up, I'm not going to go into how the actual compensation plan works, but basically it's based on a simple model: you share, they share. So in a nutshell, if you start the program with a couple of people, 2 friends, family members, you can earn up to $370 back straight away. So that's in your pocket straight away for helping 2 people. And then if you help them help 2 people, then you can earn up to $570 or as far as $820. And that can be within your first month. It can be as quickly or as slowly as you want. A lot of people like to start the program, see how they go first. That's cool. Do that if that's what you're feeling. If you've got friends that are trying to get healthy and lose weight, it's fun to do it together. So you can start there. And it's as simple as there being a rebate system. And if you want to learn more about how that all works, then just chat to the person who has either sent this to you or has got you on here tonight, and they can fill you in on the rest. And yeah, just to wrap up, and this is definitely how I approached it. I definitely didn't fully understand the system of products. I didn't fully understand the business model, but I trusted the person who introduced it to me, Rory, and it felt like the right next step for me. So I just said yes, and I've kind of been figuring the rest out as I go along. And Linda's nodding her head there because she can definitely relate, because she had phenomenal results, started helping people, started making really good money, and doesn't even really know how the compensation plan works. And she's making really good money. So if it feels like the right next step for you, say yes, take the next step, chat to the person, and just reach out, because there's plenty of support available for you. So we're going to wrap it up there. I'll get Roz to stop the recording. And then, yeah, I'll let you guys go and enjoy your Tuesday night. And just know that we're here every Tuesday, this same time, 6 p.m. Perth time. I'll be jumping on. There'll be different stories, same content, trying to keep it to 30, 40 minutes. So if you've got anybody that you think might benefit from hearing the information that was shared tonight, then invite them along next week, next Tuesday night, because we'll be here. All right. Cheers, guys. Thanks for jumping on and sharing your stories and stuff.
Thanks, Tal.
Thanks, Tal.
No
Thanks,
worries.
Linda.
See you
See you,
guys.
June, SEL.
Bye.
Thanks for jumping on, guys.